my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? My name is Fumidesaluvold. For those of you that are stopping by for the very first time, you're so very welcome indeed, my loves. I have been covering the Jeannie Mai and Jeezy divorce saga for the past 2 days, and all of you seem to want me to talk more about it, so I had to break it down. And this episode is about Jeannie and what she had said, talking about she preferred dark meat on the side and stay lean and mean. You know what? Let me play it for you. It's better she says it than I.
Black guys, yeah, I did. But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. You know, that's why I married white man. That's what I like.
Hold up. What do you mean, dark meat on the side?
Because she lightweight offensive. I am
I'm not. I'm saying, like, I really do think black men are attractive. I do. Like, that's my...
Well, what do you mean, dark meat on the side?
That means, honey. You know what that means.
Wait, what are you reading it as?
How did you say it?
I'm just saying, like, when I think about men, I like dark men. I do.
You like your main man to be white and your side piece to be dark.
Okay, so we got that out of the way. So let's hold on to that for a minute. I feel that, and I've said it before, if you're dating a guy that has children or has had multiple women in his life that has children with him, the best thing that you could do is to do your research and go to these mothers of whom, if you have a child with this man, you're going to be connected for life, because the children become half brothers and half sisters. I had a girlfriend of mine, beautiful girl, and she was getting married. Of course, she invited me to the wedding. And a few days before, she had said that his ex, of whom he has a child with, had got in touch with her. And she said, don't marry him. This is who he is. And this is what he does when the veil is exposed. She turned her down. I don't blame her. On her honeymoon, he beat her up so badly that the hotel of which the incident had happened refused to let him in. She had been warned. She didn't take heed, and she went on and stayed with him until she had a child with him. He beat her up again, and she was in hospital for days. I'm not saying Jeezy is a beater. I'm saying that if she had listened or had spoken to the past baby mamas, perhaps she wouldn't have done this. She wouldn't have married him. I believe that she was blindsided to an extent. I think she knows that the marriage was belly up from the minute she gave birth to Coco. And she didn't say anything because she doesn't owe us an explanation. But everybody's taking a side. I'm not taking sides. I'm just reporting, and I'm giving advice on both sides. Like I said in the previous episode, I believe that Jeezy was in a situation where he was grieving for his mother that he loved, and he married Jeannie to fill that void. It was also during COVID where the world was different. And the world opened up again, and he got up and he had healed from the bereavement of his mother. And he stood there in front of Jeannie and felt very much a stranger. I forgot to tell you, where is this from? Pretty Little Thing times Naomi. I know. They gave me about 20 outfits, and I'm living and loving. This is just simple. I've got like a, oh, you know what, Fumi, don't say anything. Don't say anything. Collection is coming out, and it's just gorgeous. It's a beautiful shing ding that you can just walk in with heels, and it's so gorgeous. I'm wearing it back to front because that's what I do. You can wear it back to front and give it some sexy, which I love and live. And of course, I'd wear this at night. Do you know I would wear this during the day? Yes, I would. Why not? It's the fabulosity. Anyway, back to Jeannie. And so Jeannie was caught with her pants down and said these things. I think it was ignorance. And I think that upon reflection, she knows how silly it sounds. Let me give you a little story time. When I was in California, I lived with my brother. My brother and I lived together. It was wonderful. I did a lot of the house cleaning, and he just loves to cook. He cooked with my mom when we were growing up, and so he constantly cooked. Needless to say, we moved into this wonderful gated community kind of. It was fabulous. And I got close with another lady there. And just on happenstance, one day I saw her children going to school. So I stopped and dropped them off because I know their mom. And it became a thing where anytime when I saw them, I picked them up, I dropped them off, and I played with them. And she would come up to me and say, do you mind just to watch the kids for a minute? I need to. And so it was wonderful. And Yonju had Yinka at that time, so they all played together. Needless to say, she left. She relocated back to Houston, Texas, I think. And she came to me and gave me a beautiful pendant, and she said, Fumi, you were my first black friend. I didn't take offense to it because I knew what she meant. That she had this idea or ignorance about black people until she lived by one who took care of her children, who took her children back and forth from school, and she knew that whatever she had heard was a lie. And she wanted me to know in so many words that she was sorry for the way that she thought, and that I was her friend. And unfortunately for her, this was her first black friend, where she could have had so many friends that happened to be black and not have looked at them as in black then friend. I got the message, and I told her, I said, things will be different for you from now on. Wherever you go, you're going to have so many friends. And she said, thank you. Will I keep in touch with her? And I have. And I know she's watching. And that's the world that we live in. People assume and say stupid things. And Jeannie said a very, very stupid thing, ignorant. Ignorant, to refer to black people as meat in the first place. You know. But I forgive her because I believe that she has grown. And even Jeezy came onto a radio station and said, we talked about it. And I listened to the whole thing, and she's from downtown LA more than me. Because it's growth. Because it is what? It is growth.
But did you hear, I've always wanted to ask you this. So there was a comment that she said on The Real a while ago. And she basically said she liked her, what was it, lean and white meat, but then she liked her dark meat on the side. Did y'all ever talk about those comments that she made back in the day?
I'm gonna tell you how real she is.
Because you're the entree now, FYI.
But before we even started, we had that conversation.
Really?
First thing, when we really talked, she sat me down and said, listen, it was something that I said, and it might have got taken out of context, and I want you to listen to it in its entirety. And I did. And I think you guys do journalism. You guys do, hey, people can take what they want. You know what I'm saying? And I know her people, I know her family. I ain't never felt no sense of racism. She comes from the Bay.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
She's chitlin'.
Right. You know, like she knows E40 better than me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just think sometimes like people look for things in people, but at the same time, you got to know I'm a good judge of character, and I'm not going to do nothing that's going to jeopardize my integrity. But she's so solid. That's one of the first conversations we had.
That's fine.
Because we have all said stupid things, and we all make mistakes. And when we grow from them, that is when we should be given the grace to continue to live. Unfortunately for her, she was on a television show, so it was on air. And you could see her co-stars, they were like, Jeannie, don't ever compare. Don't ever. And that's why I'm talking about this, because I'm in a mixed marriage. And so there's going to be this situation where, did I just want to date a white guy? Did he just want to date a black girl? No. No. When we met, I was 39 and Ula was 44. And we lived very eclectic lives, very diverse backgrounds, and traveled. And we're fully aware of what we are. But it has no weight on our marriage or on our family. Is it obvious to all of you? Yes. Do I see Ula every day? Hey, white guy, white guy. Of course not. Of course not. We have real life issues to deal with, and we've got a child to raise. I am not saying that some guys do not go out of their way and say, you know what, let me marry this girl because I want so kids, I want this, I want that. I am saying that it's not the same for everybody. And I want to say that I don't believe that even when Jeannie said that Jeannie knew that her following husband was going to be a gentleman of color. I don't think she knew. And so the internet is very unforgiving because we want to bring out the receipts. And even though I'm going to address it here, I know it's going to be addressed over and over again for Jeannie. I overlook it. I think that she's very sorry about this mistake that she made, most especially because Coco is black. Coco ain't white, Coco black. Is she biracial? Yes, but we know how it is in these streets. You are of color. And you know, on top of which, I think Jeannie is also really sorry about that, because when she reflects, she realizes that she said this ignorant comment in the face of her black co-hosts. And when you say things out there, you give other people ideas and the liberation license to say it. That is why it's come back to really bite her. Because when you say something ignorant and racist, you talk about everybody. And I think that's why this receipt came up. Because everybody who was offended and couldn't say anything, they've dug it up. And that's how it goes. Are we living and loving the wig, my darling? Just look at the frontal. Oh my God, the virgin hair fantasy. Discount code Fumi. I am loving this hair. It's human hair. You can curl it, you can comb it, you can wash it, you can color it, you can do everything with this. And yes, my braids are underneath. Can you believe it? I swear to you guys. Why didn't I know this? Why didn't I know this? I'm growing out my hair. You should see the undergrowth. You should see Christina's undergrowth. Fabulosity. Discount code Fumi. Let her know that I sent you, that I wore it on the show. And I'm just really loving the hair. And I'm coming back blonde. How about that? I digress. So as I was saying, this comment that she made has come back to haunt her. But I forgive her. I know that she knew it was an ignorant comment. And she knows that because that was the first conversation, one of the first conversations, serious conversations that she had with Jeezy. And she said, Jeezy, I'm sorry. It was ignorant and I didn't mean it the way that it came out. And let me try and explain. You have to try to save yourself because you know that you've made a boo-boo. And that was what it was. So yeah, so when you make mistakes like that, you try to save yourself. And it has come back to haunt her. I don't think it has any bearing on this. I think that she was blindsided. I think she really loved Jeezy. I think she really wanted this to work. I think for somebody who didn't want a baby and the mother of a wonderful girl did not want to be a single mom with 2 marriages behind her, I think that she really tried to salvage this marriage. But Jeezy did not. I don't think he loved her all the way. There's no way you can love somebody, really love them, or love them, have loved them, and put a statement out like that on Instagram. It's a personal affair that you should have addressed directly with Jeannie and let the 2 of you announce together. He did not do that because he does not care about her. And so it's very sad. It's very sad. It's shocking how things can turn so very quickly. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, hit the notification button, my darlings, and I will see you what? I'll see you sooner than later. Let us get the conversation going in the comment section. I am reading as many as I can. And it is what it is. It's unfortunate. I said it in the last episode, and I'm going to say it here. It's looking like it's going to get ugly. It's going to get mean. It's going to get nasty. And a lot more is going to come out. All right, my darlings. I'll see you what? I'll see you sooner than later.